Hey guys, Sandra here, and I decided to do what I eat Wednesday a little bit late today. I wasn't planning to do it today. I was going to push it off a few days, but I was inspired when I went to the store. So I'll just start with what I had for breakfast, which I didn't film, but I did have my regular half of a watermelon, and it's the other half of this one. It's just a little guy, not as big as I usually eat. And there was just over 4 pounds in the watermelon flesh itself, which turns out to be 560 calories. And I just wanted to point out the benefits of watermelon. This amount of watermelon that I ate has 26% of my calcium requirements, 25% of my iron, 27% of zinc, which is a hard one to get. Those are the main ones that I wanted to point out. And the ratio of watermelon here is about 95:5. So I started with that, and then I didn't plan this either, but I got to work and I'm like, you know what, I'm kind of slow today. Have been slow for a couple of days now. So I decided to take the afternoon off. That's why I've got a big smile. It's a gorgeous day out, and I'm going to enjoy it. So, I'm having for lunch this smoothie, and I've already eaten the other half. It's actually kind of a baby smoothie. It's only about 700 calories, but it has bananas, dates, and a little bit of blueberries. And so as I was coming home, I stopped at the grocery store just to see if there was anything that I needed. Looking for bananas, actually. But I was walking around and I was very inspired. Last night we had leftover soup, the savory squash thing that I made the other day, and some cauliflower soup, and I've still got enough tonight for supper tonight for me and my husband. But as I was walking around the store, I was inspired when I saw this. And I haven't had collard greens in quite a long time. But I have a recipe that I made several times that is so good that I'm going to make tonight. This here inspired me to do it. So I'll show you guys later when I do that. But it's a millet chard roll. And the other thing that I saw, which was very exciting, is this. And this is amber cup squash, which in my opinion is the queen of squash. This is so yummy. And I'll tell you, I haven't had too many different kinds, but this one's really good. So I was very happy to see that, and I'm going to try that a little later in a few days. So the plan for today, for this afternoon, is to get outside, get some sun. That's first. I'm going to walk my dogs, get out in the sun also, and just let them have some, enjoy it. It's going to be great. And then to come home and make the supper. I'm going to make the chard rolls, and I'm also going to make a kale salad that I've showed you guys before that I make. So I'll see you in a little while, guys. Okay guys, so for supper I'm making a recipe out of this Forks Over Knives cookbook, and it is this one, which is Millet Stuffed Chard Rolls. And you also have to make the roasted red pepper sauce, but I'm not going to make that tonight. Just going to do the chard and the millet filling. Okay, so over here I've got a pot of boiling water, and I've got a pot of cold water with ice cubes in it. And instead of chard, I'm using the collard that I got earlier. So I've cut off the stem, and then I've sliced the thick part of the stem off as well, just to help it fold up. And so what you do is you just put the chard leaves in the pot of boiling water for about 20 to 30 seconds, just so that they soften up. And you take them out of there and you put them in the cold water so that they stop cooking. This is just so that you'll be able to roll them later. And I'm gonna stop recording so that I can do this with 2 hands. Alright, so I've taken them out, put them in the cold ice cube bath. I'll just let them sit there for a minute before I take them out and sort of towel them off. And over here, I have the onions sauteing for the filling. You have to saute them for 8 minutes. And then you add in garlic, millet, that's thyme, some stock, and this is nutritional yeast. And then I also have over here some basil leaves that I'll dice up. And I don't think I have quite enough that the recipe calls for, so I'm going to use some dried basil as well. And I'll just, once the onions are done, I'll put all that in and then cook the millet for 20 minutes. I'll see you then. Okay, so I sauteed the onions, then I added the garlic, which I pressed, and sauteed it for another 2 minutes. Then I added almost all of the stock. I added the millet and the spices. The basil leaves, I used actually a half a teaspoon of dried basil as well, and then all of the thyme that you saw. So I get this boiling, and then I reduce it, cover it, and saute it for 20 minutes. Okay guys, so here's the millet done now, and it looks like it did perfectly. It's not wet in there, it's dry. And so now is when you add in the nutritional yeast, and I'm also adding some, these are, what kind of nuts? Pistachio nuts. So there's about 1/4 cup of pistachio nuts that I'm going to put in there. And then after that I'll just show you rolling it up. Hey guys, so I'm just still cooking away. I'm just starting my salad now, my kale salad. And I'm going to have as a snack while I cook this banana chocolate frosty. That big. It's got 347 grams of bananas, 22 grams of carob, 125 grams of silk almond milk, and then ice. And then I had some leftover dates that I hadn't eaten yet, so I just drank the water. They've been soaking all day. And so I made let's see here, I made like a caramel paste that I'm just going to put on top of the ice cream. And I'll be eating this while I do the rest of my cooking. So here's one of my collard green wraps, and I've put on a row of the millet. I'm just going to tuck the sides in, and then I'm going to roll this up. See if I can do this with one hand. And I just keep rolling. And I now have a chard roll. And like I said, there is a sauce to put on top of this, red pepper sauce, and it's good. It actually is a little hot, a little spicy, so I would cut down on the I think black pepper. But since I already have the leftover squash soup thing, I figure that'll go good on there. So I'll see you when it's ready for supper. I forgot to say, so you're supposed to bake this at 350-degree oven for 25 minutes. And you just put the rest of the vegetable stock right in there. I think just so it steams a little bit. So now it's ready. 25 minutes later, I'll let you know. Oh, and you cover it with aluminum foil. Sorry, guys. Okay, guys, so here's supper. I've got my one chard roll here, although it's collared. And I've put a little bit of my squash soup that I made the other day on top. Got my kale salad and a side of veggies. Hope you guys had a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye. Seriously, that is so good. If you haven't tried it, try it.